What's going on, everybody? Hello to all my beautiful sisters from another mister and all my fine brothers from another mother. What's going on, guys? My name is Honesty and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Anyways, this is going to be a story time. I'll be doing a lot of story time because I had so much stuff going on in my life back then that it's a soap opera. I'm telling you, I could write a book and I bet you my book will sell fast if it was just all about my life. I'm telling you, no cap. Anyways, as you already seen by the title, the story time with my best friend slept with my boyfriend. So yeah, my best friend from back then. Best friend. Anyways, yeah, so I already did a story time, my first story time, and my first story time was with her as well. So I already named her in the last story time. So her name is Dookie, but she ain't shit. And we're gonna name my ex-boyfriend Beast. Okay. So back then, I used to hang out with this girl named Dookie. I was about to say her name. I used to hang out with this girl named Dookie. She was my best friend. It was always me and her, me and her, me and her, me and her. Like wherever you see her, you see me. Wherever you see me, you see her. And it's sad because even back then, we was real close. She wasn't even a good friend to me, and I didn't see it. I don't know how the hell I didn't see it. No, I do know how I didn't see it because I'm always trying to see the good in a motherfucker. But let me not stop because I had some good times with that bitch. I really did. I had some good times with her and we had mad fun. You know, listen, I don't understand. Like, I think if I would have cut her off the first time, because she didn't do me wrong once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5, not 6. Damn, I lost count. Damn! I forgave her a lot of times. I don't know. I guess I forgave her a lot because I'm like, okay, she fucked up. She fucked up. She knows she fucked up. She's saying sorry, so I'm gonna accept her apology. I never did her wrong. Never. The only time that I did her wrong was one time. One time I did her wrong, and the only reason why is because she had to go out with her mom on the train or whatever, and she'll be back at whatever time. Let's say she said 5. I think she said like around 6 or something. But let's say she said 5. So she was like, I gotta go with my mom's, and I'll be back like around 5. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'll see you then.
6.5 hours later.
5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock came. I was calling her, she didn't answer. I'm like, where the hell is this bitch at? Now, back then, I used to smoke hella weed, so I was dying to smoke. Like, I was waiting on her because I had to go buy more, but we were going to have. And then the last little bit that I did have, I was waiting on her to do it with her, and she was taking forever. I had just got into a fight. That day was crazy. So I'm like, listen, this chick don't hurry up. I'm calling her, she didn't answer. So I was pissed the hell off. I just rolled it up and did what I had to do. After like a half hour after I done domed it, she came. She was like, so roll it up. I'm like, see what had happened was she was mad. Oh, she was mad. But I don't understand why she was mad because we was getting more any fucking way. But that was just like, oh, you did it without me, bitch. And who you did it with and who was with it. But that was it. That was it. That was the worst thing I've ever done to her. Other than that, I never did the bitch wrong. I never badmouthed her. I never talked bad about her. I never put her business out there. I never made her look bad. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Until now. Now I'm letting it all come out. I'm doing these story times because, in a way, these like the females that are watching this can hear my story times and think like if they're ever in a situation or if they ever sit here and think like I used to think like, oh, there's no bad. I know that wasn't him, or I know that wasn't her. I know she could be good. I know she's capable of it. I know she has a beautiful heart. Let me give her another chance. I know this. Oh, I'm gonna forgive her about this. This is why I'm doing these story times, because all this shit happened to me, and it's because it was like red flags, blue flags, green flags, purple flags, orange flags. There was a lot of flags thrown up, and I just was dodging them like whatever, whatever, whatever. You know, like if you see the flags, if that one flag come up for you, call it quits. Because if you keep on forgiving and you keep on and like, oh, trying to see the good in the motherfucker, like I said, they're gonna keep on walking all over you, because they're gonna be like, yeah, I got away one time, I got away with it the second time, I'm gonna keep on getting away with it, and you don't deserve that. I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve it then, especially when I was nothing but good to the bitch. I didn't deserve it then, and I don't deserve it now. And I don't. I can honestly say now, I'd be damned if a bitch do me dirty, because behind her, I had a lot of people do me dirty behind her. But anyway, let's get into this damn story time, because I keep on chit chatting about shit that don't matter, but this story time. So, I was going out with this boy, we're gonna name him Beast. I was going out with him, and you know, she was going out with his cousin. We're gonna name him Ronald. So she was going out with Ronald, and I was going out with Ronald's cousin, Beast, and you know, it was like cousins with cousins, because we used to call each other cousins because we was mad fucking close. So cousins with cousins, right? So we were going out, and we used to double date, hang out together, smoke together, drink together. Just it was always us, you know, and then Beast ended up going to jail. So, you know, at this time I had just moved to another part of town. I used to live on the East End, and I used to live 2 blocks away from Beast and 1 block away from Dookie. So I moved from over there, and I moved to the east side. Instead of the East End, I moved to the east side. So I had to walk, or he would walk, you know, or you know, we would meet each other halfway or whatever. But we used to chill, and you know, they used to come over the house, chill, smoke, like just vibing. So, you know, in our new house, Beast ended up getting arrested. And I'm like, damn, like, I'm talking to this cousin, I'm like, damn, what the fuck you do now? Like, what the hell? Like, we just started being good and stuff like that. And, you know, we was just, because we had a lot of complications going on. There was a lot of back and forth, but we talked about it. We ended the drama and shit like that. So, we were doing good. So, I'm like, damn, what the hell? So, I talked to his mom and shit, and his mom was like, yeah, he violated his probation. So they took him, and he's got to do like a month and a half or 2 months, something like that. So I'm like, damn, is you fucking serious? I was mad as hell, because I'm like, damn, we just like fixed it. So okay. Ronald was still around, Dookie was still around. We were all hanging out, and then little by little, I see Ronald like stepping away from Dookie, and I'm like, what the fuck going on? Now we was always in each other's business, especially when it came down to relationships. We were always talking to each other about our relationships and shit like that. But we never got to the point where, well, what happened? Tell me, like you want to be all up in their shit. Because even regardless of y'all being best friends or whatever, there's just some parts that you don't need to share with people, because that's your business with your side. You know what I'm saying? Like your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Like there's not a lot that you need to share. You share what you want. So there was a few things that she wouldn't have shared or whatever, but and I wouldn't have shared. But you know, we used to talk about it. We used to talk a lot to each other and stuff like that. And you know, so she was telling me like he's he's like stepping away from me. I don't know why. And she's talking to me and she's telling me about this. And then she's like, well, how are you and Beast doing? And I'm like, are we good? Oh, he calls you? Yeah. You know, he calls me. I put money on it for him. You know, we write each other. I write him, he writes me. He draws me stuff, shit like that. So we talked, and then I'm starting to see more of her and less of Ronald. So I'm like, yo, what is really good? Like, what's really good? So I'm in. I write Beast. I write him and I'm like, yo, what's up with Ronald? Like I see him, he's falling, like he's falling back. What's going on with him? And then he's like, man, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him, but if you do, I'll ask my mom if she did speak to him or whatever. She know what's going on, and I'll let you know. I was like, yeah, tell him to come by. Like, no, like that's still my boy. Like I'm mad cool with him. Like if him and Dookie's not doing good, then that's him and Dookie. But that don't got nothing to do with me. He can still come around. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. So Dookie started having less time with Ronald and more time with me. She was more with me, like on a daily. And I've noticed that every single day, at least 10 times a day, 10 times in one day, she will tell me, has Beast called you? Has Beast called you? Has he written you? Where's the letter that he wrote you? Let me see. Let me see what he said. What you wrote him? What you wrote him? Tell me what you wrote him. Like she was always in it. And again, I didn't care because, hold on, you guys. My bad, y'all. My phone died. My shit died. So I had to put it in the charger and switch up my whole scene. My whole vibe that I had going on back here. Now it look crazy. I apologize, and I will get my shit together on the next video. I promise. But yeah. So I started saying, you know, she was always in my business, and she's like, she kept saying like, have you spoken to him? How is he? Like, does he write you? Do you write him? You know, what does he say when y'all writing each other? Like, what do y'all talk about? What do y'all say? Like, what is he saying to you? Like, in the beginning, it was all good. Like, okay, she just wanted to know. Like, that's just how we are. Like, so I didn't think nothing of it. But when she started asking, like, a little bit too much, and she wanted to know every single thing, when I tell you everything, I mean every single thing. When she wanted to know everything, I kind of started looking at her like,
you in my business? Yeah, don't do that.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
so I fell back. I stopped telling her everything. And I had stopped telling her everything or whatever. And I started telling her little bits and bits of pieces. Like I wasn't telling her a lot. So next thing I noticed, I'm starting to see less of her. So I'm like, okay. I pulled her coat about it. I'm like, damn bitch, where the fuck you been going? Like you stopped coming over, da 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 da. And she was like, oh no, my bad about that. I was trying to fix some things that I had going on or whatever, but I'll be back with you. So she started coming over again. So again, when she started coming over a lot, I see it again. Have you written him? Has he written you? What did he say? Has he called you? And then I started noticing that her phone will ring and she will like stay quiet for a little bit. And then she'll be like, yes. Okay, hold on. Then she'll tell me, hold on, I'll be right back. She won't go to the next room. She never had a conversation without me in the same room. Never. Her phone used to ring, and she had her house phone. She had her house phone hooked to her cell phone. So whenever someone calls the house phone, it's going to her cell phone. So you would think that you're calling her house phone when you're really calling her cell phone. That's how she had it. So out of nowhere, she started doing that too. Out of nowhere. So I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious. So I'm like, she won't talk in the same room. She will go all the way outside, down to the backyard type shit to talk on the phone. So when she'll come back, I'll be like, well that was important, wasn't it? Because, girl. And she'll be like, no, it's my stupid whoever. Let's say, for example, one time she said, no, it's my stupid baby father. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Again, she was real into reading my letters. Like, let me see what he wrote you, what he did, and that. And then I noticed that he sent me, Beast, sent me a letter, and it was my name, like, not a letter, it was like a drawing, and he drew, and it said my name, loving his name, and then he drew another one. My bad, y'all. Damn shit died. But anyway, so he drew another one of Ronald. He drew another one for Ronald and Dookie. So it said Ronald loving Dookie. And he's like, give this to Dookie. And I'm like, so I told her about it. I'm like, oh yeah. Because one day she came, she was like, oh, has he wrote anything? What did he write? What did he say? What did y'all talk about? Blah, blah, blah. So when she brought it up, I'm like, oh yeah, he did. Here, he told me to get this to you. She slipped up. I was like, oh yeah, he did. He told me to get this to you. And then she looked at her. She was like, you trying to be funny? And I'm like, huh? She's like, he's trying to be funny? I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, because he already knows that me and Ronald ain't doing too good, and he already knows that Ronald separating himself from me little by little by little. He already knows all this shit. So why he be trying to be funny? Why he just didn't send it to me in my letter? So I'm like, oh, because I don't talk about her and him. While I'm on the phone with him, he's in jail. So why in the hell am I gonna waste my phone call talking about this bitch and his cousin? So I'm like, oh, so y'all be talking. She was like, yeah, he wrote me a couple of times. I was like, well, you never mentioned it. You never told me that he wrote you. Never. Y'all didn't tell me that y'all spoke. And I definitely don't talk about you to him because there's no need to. So, yeah. And she was like, I mentioned it to you. And I'm like, no, I would have remembered. Like, bitch, come on now. Now you're trying to act. You trying to play me like I'm dumb. You're too worried about my relationship. You're not even dealing with yours. And I know now. After it all said and done, I know now. But she tried to, say, oh, I did tell you. I mentioned it a few times. And I'm like, no, you didn't, but okay. I found out that those phone calls was him. But anyway, so I told her, I said, listen, if we are friends, we are friends. That's fine with me. Like, if you want to be writing him, if you want to be writing you want to be writing him to support him and shit like that, then that's fine. Y'all can. But do it respectfully and tell me about it. Like, we are friends, so what's the reason for you to hide it and not tell me? And then I'm finding out and I'm telling you and you're like, oh, I told you when you never told me. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, don't hide shit because that just makes y'all look suspicious.
That's suspicious.
Like, it makes y'all look like, what the fuck going on? So then, what's his name? Ronald, he called me and Dookie was at my house and he was like, I need to speak to you. I'm like, all right, well, you got to give me a few because right now I'm busy and I'll hit you back up. And he was like, all right. I forgot. I never hit him back up because I forgot. But Beast was scheduled to come out of jail in a couple of days. So I was excited. And the day that he was coming out of jail was his birthday too. I was so excited. So she was excited too. She was excited too, but again, me being dumb bitch, thinking we just friends, so she's happy, because we are friends. No, bitch. No. Throw that shit out the window because that's not what it was. So, it was his birthday. I'm like, oh my god, he's coming home on his birthday. I want to do him a cake. I want him to have fun. I'm gonna have a surprise birthday party. I talked to his mom. I spoke to his mom. His mom was like, yeah, that sounds good. We could do this. So and then like it was like, I'm gonna say like 5 days, almost a week before he came out that I was saying all this. And then as the days went on, like moods, it just switched. Like it was like I wasn't feeling the situation. So I told his mom, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling the whole party type of thing. Like, I don't know, like, I got this vibe, I can't explain it. So she's like, all right, no problem. So, the day that he came home, she called me early in the morning. She was like, what time does he get out again? She already knew. But what time is he gonna get out? Is he going with his mom to pick him up? I'm like, oh, I got an interview at 9, so I'm not gonna be able to make it. But after my interview, I'm gonna go home, take a shower, get dressed, whatever, and then I'll call him or I'll go to his house to see what's up. So she was like, oh, okay. I just wanted to see if they were gonna be like his mom was gonna go. I said, yeah, everybody gonna go. Everybody gonna go. So she was like, oh, okay. Hung up. The next morning, I get up, take a shower, get dressed, you know, calling his mom, talking to his mom. She was excited. She was like, yeah, we about to meet here. We about to go pick him up, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, well, I'm about to be in my interview. So, I'm going to call you when I get out. So she was like, all right. I'll let him know that you had an interview. I said, I already told him, but okay. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay. Then I come out of my interview. On my way home, I'm calling. And I'm calling. And I'm calling. And I'm calling. And nobody's answering. I'm like, now I know they see my number. They have caller ID. I know they see my number. I know they see me calling. Why they're not answering? I know they home. I'm like, let me call Dookie. Because let's not, remember I told you I used to live on the East End. I used to live 2 blocks away from Beast. 1 block away from Dookie. So this is exactly how it went. This was Beast, his block. The next block, Dookie. The next block, mine. Okay? But I moved. So now I was like Beast and Dookie. Like Dookie could go on her back porch and she could see his house type of thing. Like they used to live over like the next block over. So I'm like, well, you know, she probably went over there. Like, so let me call her. I called. She didn't even answer. So I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like, so I started getting that, ooh, don't tell me this shit. So finally, his mom answers the phone. I'm like, yo, why isn't nobody answering? Like, is everything okay? She was like, oh no, girl, everything is good. I was just waiting to see if he was gonna answer the phone because I knew it was you calling. He was calling for him, so I was waiting for him to answer the phone. And it's obvious that he wasn't gonna answer. He's ignoring you. So I'm like, what you mean he ignoring me? Why he ignoring me for? Last I checked, we was good. So why he ignoring me for? What's going on? So she's like, she was like, girl, let him tell you. I'm like, so put him on the phone then. Put him on the phone. So she was like, she called him, come to the phone. He's not answering. So I'm like, I know you shouldn't be the one having to get up because it's the phone for him and he should be fucking getting up. So can you please get up and ring the phone, please? Because I would really like to know why he's not answering. She said, okay, I'm gonna do it. The way she said it, I'm like, what the fuck? So she's like, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring him the phone. Yeah, I will bring it to him right now. Just like that. And I'm like, because she don't usually talk like that. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Now I'm sitting here like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, these vibes ain't right. So as she's walking to his door. And the closer she gets to the door, to his room door, the closer I hear music as if it's in my ear. So she's banging on the door, banging. So I'm like, damn, you having a whole party, huh? So she's banging. She's calling his name, calling his name. Now he hears it. So then he goes, what? And she was like, the phone. He was like, tell whoever it is I'll call him back. I'm busy. So she said, honestly, he said he gonna call you back because he's busy. So when he heard my name, it's like, oh, why you ain't say it was her, or some shit like that. And so yeah, so he was like, I'll call you right back. So and then his mom was like, yeah, he'll call you right back because he's too busy in the bed with your cousin. So I'm like, what?
A minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just
I
said.
was like, what did you just say? Miss such and such, what did you just say? And she was like, yeah, he in the room with Dookie. He's Dookie. So I'm like, what? You serious? That's why she didn't answer. That's why. No wonder she's the one to know this and this and that. I'm going over there right now. I tried to get there in 0.2 seconds. I got there. He wasn't there, nor she. So I go to her house. She's not at her house. So I'm at his mom's house. And I'm like, yo, how the hell did this happen? She was like, I don't know how the hell it happened, but it happened. They all sitting in the living room talking, eating, laughing. And next thing you know, they go to the room. They're playing music. No, they go to the room. Before I could hear music, I hear something else. The mattress. Then I hear music. She said that she heard my cousin moaning and everything. Okay? I'm like, yo, my own best friend, my cousin, sleeping with my boyfriend. I should have cut the bitch off right there and then, and I never did. And I didn't. I don't know why the fuck I didn't, but I didn't. I just distanced myself from her. He didn't want to face me. She didn't want to face me. I went to her house looking for her. I went everywhere I could think of looking for her. She was nowhere to be found. Then I go to my sister's house to talk to my sister about it because I'm so brokenhearted. And the bitch is in my sister's house. Why are you at my sister's house crying to my sister as if my sister's supposed to be Captain Save-A-Ho? But, you know, I try to get to her, like, my sister was not having it. My sister was like, you was not, I understand it's disrespectful. I understand that's your best friend. I understand that that's like your cousin. And I understand that, you know, it's very disrespectful. But at the same time, you're not about to, my sister is the one that stopped me. Because she was like, you was not about to sit here and fight over no man. As easy as they come is as easy as they go. You're still young, you still got a whole life ahead of you, and he is not gonna be the last nigga that wants you and that you want them. He did you dirty, now move on to the next. Hoes is gonna be hoes, man or female. Hoes is gonna be hoes. They're gonna do what they wanna do. You're better than that. So my sister is the reason why I didn't, what's her name? I didn't, you know what I'm saying, like go crazy. Because I'm like, you know what, my sister's older. That's my older sister. She's been through the toughest thing. She's been through it all. So I'm like, you know what, she's right. She's right. She's right. So she made me and her had a little mediation at her fucking kitchen table. And I just wanted to grab her by her fucking throat. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do this because my sister made a good point about it. And I'm not about to bring myself down. Like, make myself look bad because I'm fighting you because you stepped. That's your problem. That's you and his problem because y'all both made yourself look bad. Y'all both gave yourself a look. Y'all both gave yourself a name. It's not my reputation, and I'm not the one that's gonna be getting looked at like it's y'all. So y'all can deal with that shit on your own. But what I am gonna tell you is, you disrespecting me. You disrespect me to the fullest, and it ain't never, ever going to be like this between us again. Ever. And guess what? I lied. Because I could not be her fucking friend. If I would have stopped being her fucking friend, I forgave the bitch. I got a beautiful heart. I have a big heart, and I stopped that shit. My heart is little as fuck now. But if I would have stopped her from being her friend from then my first story time, my last story time that I did, it would have never happened. I put that upon myself. Because that right there showed me she could never be trusted again. And I put that aside, and I had trust in her all over again when I shouldn't have. So ladies, next time that your gut is telling you, your conscience is telling you, it ain't for it, she not for it, don't do it. Go with what your fucking heart, mind, body, soul, whatever the fuck, go with what it's telling you, because 99.99% of the time it's right. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you could get hurt again. Thank you. This is the end of the video, y'all. Thank you for listening to my video. Thank you for listening to my story time. If you guys want more story times, let me know. I got more stories on this bitch and more. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come join the family, okay? And while you at it, next to it is a notification bell. Hit that too so you get notified every time I upload a video. And yeah, thank you guys. Bye.